Hello and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome to our stream of Death in Space, the system, the RPG, and our show, A Corrupted Frontier. Thank you all very much for waiting and for joining us tonight. This is episode 3 of this campaign, and we just want to get right into it. It's been a nice long holiday break, and we are all raring to die, I guess, because it's Death in Space, and that's what's going to happen to everyone. So, let's go around the table and just quickly introduce ourselves and our characters before we jump into things. So, I'm going to go clockwise on the overlay. So, first is Dawn.
Hello! So, I'm Dawn. I'm known as Dawn Whisperer on the internet, and I play Mira here in the campaign, who is a Chrome. And yes, my pronouns are she, her.
Thank you very much. Next up, Mel.
Hi, my name is Melissa Rose. I play Lunar Harrison, she, her, and she is a punk ex-soldier.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Next on the overlay is Mazz.
Hello, my name is Mazz. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Xander Patarian. His pronouns are he, they, and I'm a Chrome.
Thank you very much. Next, Homero.
Hello, my fellow Rose Beefers. My name is Homero Rios. I'm a he, him, and I interpret to Wyoming Jones. And in general speaking, I have no idea what am I doing. Hello.
Thank you very much. Next up, Cori.
Hi, I'm Cori, and I play Bobbi, who is the captain of this crew, technically. And both of us use she, they pronouns.
Thank you very much. And
Sorry.
how rude. And lastly, I am Danny. I play the game master. I'm the guy who's going to try and kill everyone in space. He, him. Cool. So with that, let us jump straight into Death in Space. Okay, so to recap, we have our newly formed crew, captained by Bobbi, our pilot and tow trucker. They have come together as Bobbi needed a crew at having won a ship in a game of cards. Bobbi, along with their friend Lunar, put an open call out on the Iron Ring, the main hub of this solar system, looking for crew members, and Xander and Mira showed up. After getting the crew members on board and leaving, they found Wyoming stashed away in some boxes in the storage bay, sleeping off what could only be described as the worst hangover ever. Bobbi had won the ship, and a clue on some possible good salvage, which was a derelict space station, a couple weeks flight away. Having arrived there, it turns out it wasn't derelict; it was just not being used at the time. But having gained entry, gone inside, you found that it actually was at one point being used by a group of bounty hunters as their base of operations, with the last member of said bounty hunter group having died in the station and left an audio message behind of their kind of last will and testament, their last words before they died. Those being that they were killed by a notorious serial killer called Bo Zappa, who was the last bounty they were working on, who had gone through and killed everyone in his team before finally taking them out. The message basically said, either stay away or take them out. There is a big bounty on Bo Zappa, so if you've got the guts and the brawn to take them on, be a plentiful bounty, as it were, on the end of that. So, crew checked the station over, got it into working condition, and locked the doors and set off in their new ship on the way to the bounty. On the way to, should I say, the last known location of Bo Zappa, from the notes and scrollings that this bounty hunter had left behind. As you set off and you are on your way in space, after 2 weeks you had settled down for your night's rest on the journey, and during the night something happened and all the power went out on the ship, life support went out, everything, all the electronics died, and you all began to float in your rooms, having an alarm go off very suddenly, waking you and then stopping. You all scrambled into your EVA suits and began kind of trying to diagnose what the hell was going on. Having looked around, you found that you don't know what happened, but you had to restart the ship. So, having positioned yourselves in the different areas that need to be ignited and turned on in very specific orders, I believe Xander and Mira were in the engine room, Bobbi and Lunar were on the flight deck, and Wyoming was outside, as there was a switch on the outside that had to be hit as well. You all attempted to restart the ship, with Xander and Mira being the ones that had to turn the engines on at a synchronized flip of some switches. Bobbi and Lunar were on the flight deck. Bobbi, you there. You were in charge of turning the main computers on. Lunar was in charge of turning the life support on. And as all these things kick in, at the same time, there's like a buildup of gas in this chemical kind of combustion engine that the ship has, and there is venting that needs to happen in as part of the sequence for that, which is what Wyoming was doing outside. He had to flip a switch to open the vents to allow that to come out, to kickstart everything. You all rolled skill checks for this, and you didn't all succeed. Things went slightly awry, shall we say, and the ship did not start, and the venting did happen, which unfortunately caused Wyoming to be blown off the outside of the ship. But due to some lucky aerial maneuvers and some spins, Wyoming managed to grab hold of the side of the ship and re-anchor themselves outside. So, you're back at square one. You're floating in space on a ship with no power currently that needs to be restarted so you can continue your journey. So, we will begin with a roll from all of you.
Okay.
So, I need you all, in fact, no. I need Mira and Xander to make tech rolls. I need Bobbi and Lunar to make savvy rolls, and I need Wyoming to make me a dex roll, please.
Would we be able to burn a void point on this?
Yes.
Because I definitely know I failed, so
Yes.
I want to roll with
you
advantage,
all
please.
have one void point at this point, I will say as well.
I'm also going to spend my void point
Okay.
because I got a 4.
Okay. For those watching at home, this system is Death in Space, and one of the mechanics is if you fail an ability check, you gain void points.
Way better.
Up to a maximum of 4, and you can then spend those later to gain advantage on a roll. But if you fail using that void point, things get worse.
19.
Okay.
Way better.
15 total.
15 total.
18.
18.
Got a 1 on my reroll.
Got 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're doing good, guys.
Let me roll something.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay, wait, what did everybody get?
Everyone,
I got 18.
everyone but Lunar
Yeah.
succeeded. Lunar was on the life support station.
God damn it!
So,
Oh my god, it is gonna be a TPK.
here's what's going to happen.
Daddy is pressed.
Mira and Xander, you both count to 3, and as you both say 3, you flick the switch, engaging the engines and getting that power going, and you can hear that pressure building up. Bobbi and Lunar, Bobbi, you see the console light up, and as it does, you flick that switch straight away to re-engage the computers. Lunar, you see the life support station, the console on the flight deck light up, and as you go to flick the switch, it's just, I don't know, there was some dust or something in your EVA suit, and it just tickles your nose, and you sneeze and slip as you go to flick the switch, and you fumble it and don't quite flick it, and you have to kind of go click back again to do it. Fingers crossed you managed. Wyoming, you're positioned outside at the vent. You can feel that rumble, and as you feel it, you flick the lever on the outside, opening the vent, and you see the gas and chemical build-up chunk out of the ship. Everything seems to have gone well. The ship is now, there is a gentle hum. The lights are slowly beginning to turn on in the different rooms and the corridors of the ship. The engine room is now lit up, and there is a gentle rumble as everything gets going. In there, the entire cockpit has lit up. All the consoles and dials and everything are all working. Everything seems to be working.
Can I look at the consoles and check, like, if everything is actually working?
Full diagnostic was exactly what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah, like just checking, like, okay, engine's running, life support on, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so Bobbi, you sit in your captain's chair, your pilot's chair, and start doing a diagnostic on the systems. We're at a point where Wyoming, you're able to come back into the ship now. All doors work fine. All doors are working and opening as they should be, as before they were kind of sealed almost. Everything's working as you all come into the ship, as you're all taking your EVA suits off, and you're like, well, there's air still, so that's a bonus. Bobbi, you're checking through the systems. Engines, 75%. Electrical units, 68%. Life support, 24%. Navigation, 98%. And you're running through, and you're getting an average of kind of 75 to 98% on everything else.
Okay.
Life support,
Except
24.
life support. Got it. Does it stay at 24, or does it seem like it's fluctuating a little bit?
It's at the minute, it's staying at 24. It is there.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead. I'll like kind of pat Luna on the back, and I'll make like an announcement over. Be like, okay, everybody, good news. Most of the ship is working. Life support's at 24%. If we have any ideas of how we could make that better, just do it. Just do it.
I look at Mira. We've got our work cut out for us, don't we?
We certainly have. I guess we should diagnose how this started.
Yeah. I'm going to. Is there any way I can see if there's a planet nearby with potentially repair plays? Just in case? Or are we in the middle of space? Either's fine. Can hear you, Peach. Can hear you, Peach.
Muted.
Sorry. You can go and have a look on the star map that you have on the big console table in the galley in the mess, the little kitchen you've got. There are no in terms of nearby. You ain't got any luck there.
We would take a huge detour from where we have to be.
Well, see, looking at the star map and checking the navigation, you're about 2 days away from your destination, which is the planet Lepidoptera. I remembered it.
Proud of you.
Thanks. It's like 12 letters long. It's hard to say, guys. But yeah, you're about 2 days away from Lepidoptera, which is where you're heading. So, I mean, there's hope that there's somewhere that you can fix things, maybe? Who knows?
Do I know if there's anything like quick kind of patching it up that we can do whilst we're still in flight?
While you're looking for that, I'm going to walk back to the engine room.
Yeah, I will probably say you could spend the next 2 days making minor repairs here and there that will get things kind of back up and running to a more optimum level.
Okay, I'll just focus all of my energy into that then.
I'll help, for sure.
I have to know if the kitchen is all right.
Wyoming, as you re-enter the ship and you take your EVA, so you don't really speak to anyone. You just go straight to the kitchen. Food seems to be okay. The refrigeration unit, as no one opened the door, it kept everything kind of as it were. You know, because if the power goes, you don't open your fridge because it'll stay cool as long as it's sealed. And no one opened the fridge.
Science. Great.
But yeah, your ship is working. You know, just was lucky considering you're just floating in the void of space. It helps to have a working ship, which you do now have. So, you're 2 days away from the planet of Lepidoptera, which is, from the information you gathered from the notes of the bounty hunter, the last known location of this serial killer Bo Zapper was in a moon station, as it was called, orbiting the planet of Lepidoptera. And you guys are about 2 days away. So, for expediency's sake, you guys spend the next 2 days traveling. Mira and Xander, you kind of get your heads together and go around the ship doing mini diagnostic checks and mini repairs. You manage to get everything working again, back to the condition it was prior. Life support is damaged, but you managed to raise the efficiency level from 24% to 58 currently, which means that it is recycling air better than it was previously. It isn't creating new air. It isn't doing the chemical reactions from carbon, hydrogen, and all that shit. It's not making oxygen. I did chemistry. I didn't do well in it, but it's not making oxygen from the chemicals it has on store to do that for you. So that system does need repairing, but you're going to need a specific part that you don't have. But you spend those 2 days fixing things and getting things back up. Xander.
I wanted to know if we made any progress diagnosing the cause of the breakdown.
Yes.
Okay.
You do. And it takes you like a good 24 hours of checking to work out what it was. Looking around, you don't actually looking for any specific damage on the ship. You don't find anything at all. But what you did is you spent a little bit of time on the navigation map, looking at the area and using the ship scanner that you have that you took from the station attached to your spaceship. Mira did that. Using that and some of its calibration settings, you managed to find out that it looks like it was a solar storm.
Okay.
That the ship had passed through, and it was that kind of solar radiation and energy that kind of blipped the systems and caused it to short out and just turn off, basically. So it wasn't an attack. It wasn't a very strange space anomaly. It was like a solar storm caused by solar flares from a nearby sun.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so that's what you guys spend the majority of your 2 days doing when you're not resting. In terms of rest, when you guys sleep, you have settled nights. There's no strange dreams, no weird experiences. Things seem settled, calm even. But Bobbi, you wake up in the morning and you go about your usual routine. You get up, you get dressed, you make yourself a drink, head to the cockpit, sit in the chair, check the systems, check where you are. And as you check where you are, you see that on the little navigation console, when you look at it's got like a countdown of how long till you reach your destination. It's at 0. And you look in front of you and you see there's a giant planet right in front of you. You didn't look up. It's early morning. You're just kind of focusing on what you're doing. But you have arrived at Lepidoptera. And you see this planet in front of you. This large green and blue planet.
Okay. I'm gonna sit there for a moment, just kind of probably like finish off my coffee or whatever. All right, let's do this. And then I'm gonna go just wake the rest of the crew. Kind of just like hit the door, like in to the rooms. Don't wanna like wake anybody, like startle them awake, but just trying to be like, okay guys, up and at 'em, let's go. And then once everybody's semi-awake, I'll head back to like the cockpit.
Okay. So, you all hear the gentle knock on the door as Bobbi kind of lulls you all awake in their little rasp at the door. You all wake up in your usual way. Early morning. What's everyone's mindset as they wake up on this day, knowing that you're roughly going to be arriving at the location today?
I think I was already up before Bobbi came in. I was sitting at my desk journaling from the day before because I have done so much sleeping aside from working on the ship after the trauma. Not that I ever sleep well. But anyway, I was up journaling, and so I've kind of dumped all of my thoughts from the last week, I suppose. I just kind of head up to the star map room, because I have kind of assumed that is now our gathering place, instead of us all trying to fit into the cockpit.
Okay. And what does Wyoming do as they get up?
I'm already awake. When I heard that little sound from the captain on the door, I was already awake.
Okay.
Because I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. Do I still have, that little joy pills on my personal stash?
Mm-hmm. You have your peas.
I'm gonna take one.
Okay.
Just to wake up,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
I can have a breakfast now.
Cool. Okay. And Lunar. What does Lunar do as they wake up?
I think despite Bobbi's attempt to be calm and gentle, I think she's still still startles awake. From just that that like deep sleep to awake kind of like disorientation. And then probably just gets up, goes, grabs the coffee, bought coffee, and
Okay.
heads to the mat room.
Cool. Wonderful. And then finally, Mira.
So, as the door is knocked, Mira's already awake. She's just lying there with her eyes open. And some of you have probably noticed by now that she hasn't been sleeping the past 2 days. She doesn't even seem to sleep. Like, none of you have ever seen her with her eyes closed. And she's just been working on various repairs. And even when things were fixed, she was still fiddling with things that were already working and trying to improve them. So yeah, as she wakes up, she just kind of gets up straight away, doesn't seem tired at all, and makes her way to the main hub.
Wonderful. So, after you all awake and do your morning routines, you all congregate in what is the mess, the galley, the kitchen area, dining area of the ship, where you have this large kind of communal table, which is also a big star map navigation unit and games console. But you all congregate there, following Bobbi's raps at the door, together. So, you're all together. Bobbi, anything you want to share?
Well, we're here. Do we have a plan?
A plan? Yes.
Yes.
We have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
We discussed that plan the other day.
Refresh my memory. Everything from the past few days is just.
Oh, come on. We talk about that thingy. About, think like a killer, being a killer. You're not a killer. I could be that man, remember?
Mm-hmm. So how does that translate to a plan?
I'm gonna find this man in Pterodactyl. That's the plan.
Did you just say pterodactyl?
That's the name of the planet, right?
Lepidoptera.
Almost same thing.
You don't seem very familiar with this planet.
I am familiar with that planet. I was raised there.
How are you only sharing this information with us now?
Because the important thing is not about the time, it's about sharing. And I'm sharing with you. Let's talk about our feelings. How are you feeling today? Upset?
Do like
Confused,
an
mostly.
insight kind of check on did he really grow up here?
Make me a savvy roll.
Crap. 9.
9. Maybe.
So my first immediate thought is when we get down there, not so subtle. Well, let's try to be not weird about it, but kind of ask around to see if anybody has seen this psycho.
That's a good idea. I should do that.
Just to get any kind of leads.
So all we have is like Bo Zapper and like this location, his last known location.
And we don't even know if he was actually on this planet or just in the vicinity. Like, could have been on the moons here. He could have been. We don't know.
Yep.
Cool. not a big sweep at all.
No, but maybe we can narrow it down if we, like Xander said, if we can maybe talk to a couple people.
What I can do is I will try to be in a bait for this guy, trying to, get some resources, trying to do some job, and I need the right guy, and that guy could be the right guy for me. I don't know. That could work.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay, so
I know, right?
a lure to him for work. What does he do?
That's not a bad idea. I don't recommend that we all stay together when we get down there. We can cover more ground if we split up. I don't think either of us should drift off alone if we can help it, but if I don't mind volunteering for that.
I will need a sidekick. I will interpret a drug lord called Alejandro Murrieta, trying to find a professional for a job. Are you in, Xander?
You are posing as this person?
Yeah. That's my facade. I'm
Not a
great
bad
actor.
idea.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's
Sure.
do this. I will be Alejandro and you could be Consuelo. Dolores, that's my final offer.
I don't mind coming with you. I definitely will be picking a different name.
Okay, you can choose your own name.
Just call me Z.
But you need a character, you need a facade, like
You're lucky I'm coming with you at this point, so maybe let me introduce myself.
fair enough. Okay, I can do that.
All right. Well, let's check things out first, figure out where we should land. And so if I can, I just want to go around the planet, just kind of checking it out.
Yeah.
What do we have any, like, what is there a metropolis here? Is there like a high population here? I don't remember if you told us.
You don't know anything about
Okay.
the planet.
Cool. Dope.
The only information you had was that Bo Zappa was potentially in a moon station orbiting the planet. That's
We
all-
did
that's-
hear that.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, that was written in the notes you had.
Not
Thank you.
on planet, but at a moon station. Is a moon station on a moon? Not like is that a moon or no? It's a space station kind of like.
You don't know yet. You don't know yet. You're still haven't found that out yet.
Wyoming,
Yes?
would you say you're popular on this planet?
Let's say I can be a subject on any table.
You're not likely to be known, are you?
The difference is I was a different guy back then. So don't worry. I can be, like a shadow in the night, or I can be a bell in a church.
Unfortunately, you are quite recognizable.
When was the last time you were on this planet, Wyoming?
I'm not sure. I have this condition, so I don't know if it was last month, last year, or 10 years ago. One of those three.
Understood. I guess we're gonna.
You have to
take
trust me.
that.
We have to build some confidence, some trust here. We're partners. We're teammates. We are
We sure
Gonzalo
are.
and Pepita. We have to trust each other.
Trust is earned.
Yeah.
You'd better start earning. That's all I can say.
I smile at Mira.
Come on, Captain.
Something
give me the
Xander
chance.
does not do often. Sorry.
Come on, Captain. I can be an asset for this team. Just trust me. I can complete the job.
I'm sure you can, but we have to get down there first. So let's check things out up here. Check out the moon or moons, and then we can go from there. See if our plan needs to change.
Fair enough.
You want to hit the moons before we hit the planet?
Probably smarter that way.
I agree.
Okay. So, Bobbi, as you begin to make a kind of flyby orbiting run of the planet, you don't see any moons orbiting this planet. But as you get maybe like at the 270 degree mark around the planet, you do see, and it's only the faintest sign of this, a small, what looks like space station, just outside of the atmosphere of the planet. And as you kind of continue this flyby and get a little bit closer to the station, you see that it is a kind of a domed disc shaped station, and from the base of it is a long, thin structure that goes all the way into the atmosphere of the planet.
I'm gonna point at it. I say let's do this first. Let's check out the space station.
Let me ask, if we find this dude now, what's the plan? I am fine with killing him personally. Just kind of
We can
knock
grab
that out.
him. We can grab him and improvise over the situation.
I mean, unless we want more information from him, do we need more information from him for anything? I don't dislike that plan, actually.
Is there more money if he was alive?
It was the same amount.
It was the same amount, but you don't know what that bounty is exactly. You just know that it's a high reward bounty. But there was no distinction between dead or alive.
So, in that case, if there's no distinction...
My question is, how far away from where we have to collect our bounty? Because I don't particularly care to have a corpse on the ship for too very long.
I mean, we can freeze it pretty easy. Space. We need to.
I suppose.
We could drug him.
Cool. Though entering any atmosphere would be problematic.
You can drop people. Sign me up for the next one.
This is true. Wyoming,
we
you
should
wouldn't
also be
have
very
anything strong
cautious.
enough.
He's known to be very, very dangerous. Didn't he kill more experienced bounty hunters than us before?
Bo is a serial killer. And yeah, he killed a full group of bounty hunters, as well as several gang members.
So if we find this dude, we're taking him in alive to start? Is that what we decided?
I think we try to keep him alive, but if things happen, it's not a big deal.
Hi, Captain.
Oh.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I make sure I have my knife on me and my gun. What do I have? Yeah.
Yep. Just getting ready, I think, is what I'll also do.
Okay. So, Bobbi, can you make me a tech roll, please?
Yes, I can. Whether it'll be good or not, we'll see. Ooh, it's a 19.
19, nice. Okay. You pilot the ship closer to this station, being careful enough not to enter the atmosphere of the planet, in case any kind of gravitational pull from that kind of messes with your maneuvering around this station, as it is just outside the atmosphere. But as you get closer and you look at this station from the outside and looking for potential place to dock on the station, there is no space dock on the outside of the station that you see. Using that roll, you'll manage to get quite close, so you can get like a good visual of the station. It appears to be fully sealed up, and looks like it has never had an entry point on the outside. But you do look at this shaft that is coming from the base of the station down, and you can see as you're close that this thing goes all the way down to the surface. And you get a glimpse at what could be an elevator system within it. That's kind of what information you glean as you get up close to this station.
Okay. So we're gonna need another change of plans. Doesn't seem like there's a way for us to get in the station from up here.
Then how the hell did he get there?
And I'll point out sort of what looks like the elevator system.
Oh, yeah, it's elevator.
So that means we have to float a little bit more longer on the space to get there?
Do we have to go down and come up?
I think so.
Ugh. One-way entries are not a good strategy.
So let me just be clear, we have to go down to the planet and take the elevator up.
I think so. I mean, if you or any of you want to see if there's a different way we can get onto the station, we can try that.
There doesn't seem to be another entry point.
Nope.
And I take a look at it and see if there's any. If we don't care if this guy, there's nothing else in there. But if we don't care if this guy dies and we just destabilize this.
So the problem is we don't know if he's inside. We don't know if anybody else is inside. And we have no way of proving that he is dead.
Yeah, we'd probably make some local trouble if we messed with it. But I don't like the idea of going up an elevator to a serial killer. That is not a good strategic move. Up a one tunnel entry, if he's in there, he has the advantage.
What choice do we have? It's also 5 against 1.
Yeah, but if you're at a strategic location, you can hold off 5 people if smart enough, and I think he's smart. Is there okay, we can't see inside, there's no windows or anything.
There's no obvious windows you can see from the outside, but you can see that the station is lit up. It does have light on the outside, which would kind of indicate that there is more than likely power and light inside.
If we were to EVA suit send someone onto it,
I did have that thought.
any weaknesses, would that be a plan you guys would be open to?
Yeah, I can float down to space and try to get in through a service window or something like that.
Yeah.
I like the
Assuming
element
we
of
want to keep
surprise
the element
versus-
of surprise.
But we're also
I can get in and I say, surprise!
We could do it as a team, but it's risky this way too, because obviously the void of space is not kind.
I don't know how I feel about leaving the ship abandoned. If we land on the planet, other people will be seeing it and watching it.
Do we have any small pods attached to our ship, like the sort of thing you could use in an escape pod, or
No.
Okay,
We're not that cool.
you're not
I
that.
kind of like the idea of getting like a shuttlecraft.
Me for that.
Does that exist in this world?
Yeah, you can have small shuttles. Yeah, they're expensive, but they exist.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Maybe
Maybe
if
we
we
can
get
build
this guy,
one.
maybe we can get one.
Backup option.
So, do you guys think that our only option is to get down to the planet?
Honestly, it seems as risky as it would be to not have the advantage, and I look at Luna in agreement. It doesn't seem like our other option is particularly safe. There's a lot of risk moonwalking, spacewalking, excuse me.
None of these options are safe. We're going after this serial killer.
Right, exactly. So we might as well pick the option that's guaranteed to get us up there.
Like, he's gonna know we're coming up. Like, there's gotta be like. You know,
Okay, let's get down and try to scout a little bit. What do you think, Captain?
I mean,
We could ask the locals if anybody's been using the station.
Getting more info is definitely always good, no matter what. So.
So
sure.
what's the plan?
Let's do that. Let's just talk with the locals.
Yes.
You're all right, Captain. And I just head off.
Okay. So, you decide to land on the planet and make your entry to this fortified, as it would seem, station. Choosing the safer of the two options, because just to remind you all, if you decided to spacewalk to it, you are on the fringe of the atmosphere of the planet, so there's a potential you would just be dragged into the planet's atmosphere and then crash into the planet through gravity. So good choice there.
But
Yeah.
is there no like docking
There is
station
nothing. There is no dock on the outside
for this
of the
planet?
There is on the planet.
No, that's where we're going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you chose the
Oh.
better of the two options there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So, Bobbi, I will need a savvy roll as you pilot the ship down and try and gauge a spot to land on the way.
16.
16. Okay, cool. So you're flying down, and as you enter the atmosphere and get below the cloud level, you can see that this planet is green. Tons of green. And there is a large ocean as you're piloting down to your right. And as you get closer, like literally you could look in any direction apart from the right and it is just green. It just looks like lush, thick jungle everywhere. But then to your left is this huge expanse of ocean. And you can see the shaft of this station as it comes down out of the upper atmosphere. And it actually ends in the water. But there appears to be a platform or something that connects the base of this tower, as it now looks, to the land. And where that platform connects appears to be some form of civilization, some form of industrial port, and appears to be a spaceport. You see no movement, no ships moving in and out, no vehicles or anything, but you see the buildings as you're lowering down, and you see the landing areas and everything. And you can see the waves crashing against a low shoreline with a cliff. At the top of this cliffed area is this kind of spaceport area, and then you see the platform that juts out over the ocean towards the tower and up. But with that 16, you managed to kind of work your way in and land in this spaceport.
It occurred to me, no one tried to hail us from the surface.
No.
Huh. Shall we?
Let's do this.
Wyoming, I suppose you should lead the way, seeing as this is your home turf.
Presume right. I will lead the way. But remember, this place could be dangerous only if you let this place be dangerous to you. Be friendly or be dangerous, but don't be, like halfway to one or another. You have to choose. That's the way to survive on this planet.
Fascinating.
Your instructions are slightly unclear. Is it more beneficial to be dangerous or not?
Yeah, pretty much it.
You did not clarify.
I know.
I just
I looked at
walk
the
off.
captain. I looked at Bobbi. Can we go?
I agree with Mira. Let's have Wyoming go first and take his advice as best you can. And just like a puzzled look.
I follow Wyoming out.
Okay.
Right.
So, you exit the ship.
I'm
Not check-
very close behind Wyoming,
Mhm.
I'm like right behind his shoulder.
Okay, yeah. You exit the ship, not checking the atmosphere is breathable. You step off out. It is.
I assume if there's civilization.
I mean, you don't know. You step out and you are in what appears to be a industrial spaceport area with an external landing pad, so you're open to the elements. You can smell the salt in the air from the ocean close by. You can sense that sea breeze, and you can also smell that kind of thick, dense foliage smell from the jungle that is not too far to the left-hand side of where you are. Wyoming, can you roll me a savvy roll? But this will be with disadvantage.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. 12.
12 was that?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. For a moment you look around a little bit unsure, but then you remember I know this place. It was about 100 years ago when I was last here, and I distinctly remember people being here. Looking around, you don't see anyone here. And as you kind of look at the buildings around you, they seem a little bit kind of under-maintained, a little bit derelict looking.
There haven't been people here in a long time, have there?
I don't remember this place like this. But no worries, this is a minor problem that we can solve. Let's just knock some doors to see if we can find anything that can guide our way to our solution. Let's go. And I start walking to the nearest building just to knock the door or just to check it out.
And start investigating the buildings, yeah. Smart.
Okay.
Can I do like a scan for like, do I see any movement, any like people, any peeping back into like a window or anything, keeping my eyes peeled?
Okay. Wyoming and Xander, you guys head towards the nearest buildings and knock on the doors. No reply, no answer. No sounds.
No
coming
windows we
through.
can look through.
Yeah, there are windows there, and you look through, and it just looks deserted.
Does it look like everything is where it was supposed to be, or does it look like it's in disarray, like someone came through and...
They don't look ransacked per se,
Okay.
but they look like maybe someone left in a bit of a hurry,
Okay.
but not furniture like strewn over and knocked over, anything, just kind of things left.
Is there any building that might look like a headquarters or an office or something that we can, register?
From where you are, in this little section of the spaceport, you don't see anything in the immediate vicinity as you look round, but you kind of do like a scan of the distance a bit further back, and you don't immediately see anywhere, but a memory does ping in the back of your mind that if you head like due east across the spaceport, you're sure that there's an office there that you remember going in.
Maybe I have something, Xander. Maybe if we walk east, we can find some kind of office.
I'll follow your lead. I've never been here before, and you do clearly know the territory, so
Right.
either way.
Okay, let's go. Let's go east. And I started walking east. DM.
How far were we from the rest of the crew? Like, were we within like shouting distance?
Yeah, where you landed, you're pretty close by. As you walk
Okay.
to these buildings, are only like a stone's throw away. So before you start heading off, you're within talking distance.
Because we don't have comms, right?
Not unless you're in your EVA suits.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I just kind of let the captain know we're gonna go in a bit further.
Okay.
Should we all go together, or?
No, I think you guys should keep investigating here. The more ground we cover, the better.
Should we check in on you if you're not back at a certain point?
I look at Wyoming at an hour.
Let's make it 2. 2 hours seems right.
How about an hour and a half?
It's up to you, Captain.
An hour and 45.
We're not bargaining here.
Are we not?
No.
I'll look at Wyoming and I'll shake on it.
You people are so strange.
I'll set a timer for 1 hour and 45 minutes.
I smile at Mira. Again. Oh, it's take off.
Okay. Wyoming and Xander, you head due east across to the other side of this spaceport. What are Bobbi, Lunar, and Mira doing at this point?
I would say Bobbi is just trying to like lock up the ship as best as we can. Like just want to make sure, especially putting a couple things together, like, ooh, there's nobody here. We weren't hailed. Let's try and, lock the ship up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You managed to do that, having now kind of fully acquainted yourself with your ship, having now spent these few weeks traveling in it, and you managed to lock it up, and it looks pretty secure. You think you should be fine there. You've got like the main kind of control key on you. No one's going to be able to do much in terms of getting inside there. So you're good to go.
Okay.
What about Mira and Luna?
I'll just be kind of like German Shepherd, like just eyes on everything, and then like when everyone else is ready to leave, kind of take the back position, but keeping an eye on like everything as much as possible.
Okay, yeah. You kind of pull up in like a sentry position on guard. Ooh. And Mira?
I see Bobbi like fussing around with the ship, and I do everything I can to help with the security systems, anything I can set up, anything Bobbi's like looking confused at. I go and tinker with, and then I wait for the others. But I would, if we're looking around, I would particularly look for any like old bits of tech, anything that could be like a log of any type left behind to kind of maybe explain what was going on before they left.
Okay. So once Bobbi and Mira have locked the ship up, and you guys are ready to move out yourselves, is there any specific kind of direction you want to go, or are you kind of going to follow the route Xander and Wyoming went, or check elsewhere?
I'll turn to the other two. So we could go after them, or we could maybe check around here. We could look through some of the houses, like really look through them. What are we thinking?
What direction was the elevator from us? How far away is that?
I was on the water.
It was on the water, that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of from where the spaceport is. The spaceport is on top of a cliff, like on the edge of the ocean, and the tower that kind of goes up to the station it's within the water, but there is a platform that goes from the cliff to it over the water. But you're talking like now you've landed and looking, it's maybe like a half a mile walk across this platform. and you're maybe, I don't know, maybe 1,000 feet away.
Right, so like we could keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
For, like, looking
Yeah.
around. Okay. Yeah. Try and figure out kind of what happened. I say we keep an eye on the tower since we know there's power going to it. That seems like a likely sign.
Okay, let's do that then. And I'll kind of gesture for Luna to sort of lead the way.
If you see any unpowered technologies, let me know. There might be something I can do.
Okay.
Luna, can you make me a savvy roll?
Yes. Better roll than last time. The 2 plus 2 is 4.
Okay, so that's a fail because it's less than 12. But you do gain a void point from that because you failed. Looking around, as you're kind of moving, you don't see anything particular of interest. Just you don't really spot. You're kind of more focused on spotting people. But one thing, even with that low roll, you do notice is you do not see any people. And apart from the breeze coming from the ocean, you don't hear anything either. Mira, can you make me a tech roll?
Ooh, 22.
Damn. Okay, so as you're walking along behind Luna, who's kind of scanning the surrounding area with their gun, and they walk along, and there's like bits of kind of rubbish and pieces stacked up and against walls and that, and you look over and you spot something, and at first glance you kind of look at it and it doesn't. There's no recognition, and then you kind of keep moving, and then you look back at it, and you're like, hold on, I know what that is. There is a piece of equipment on the floor, underneath what looks like just some scrap metal, but there's a piece of equipment on the floor that you recognize.
Oh, hello. And I'll go to try and claw it out of the rubble as much as I can.
Yeah. You wander over and you kind of move the bit of scrap off it and kind of drag it out. It's a heavy piece of equipment, but you drag it out and kind of pick it up, and you pick it up with 2 hands like that, and it's a piece of industrial equipment, and it resembles something we have here in the UK, so any UK audience. It looks like a Jaws of Life. So it's the big mechanical pry. Like it's you can either use it to pry open or close it to cut. It's what the fire department over here used to like cut car bonnets off and car roofs off and everything.
We have them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's literally like a set of those. They don't appear to be working. Like you hit the button to move it, doesn't do anything, but it is a set of those.
So I actually don't know what those things are. I'm a bad British person, but like, so they used to cut things. Usually. Do they trap anything inside them?
So
or?
they're massive cutters. So it's what the fire department they cut like the roofs off cars in accidents and stuff. But at the same time, if you push them the other way, they can pry open metal.
Cool.
Yes.
What kind of size are they?
So it would be to hold it. It would be 2-handed. To hold it. The blades would probably be about 1.5 feet in length.
Okay.
But it would take you would have to fully kind of carry it with 2 hands to take it anywhere with you. But you do recognize it. It's something that you've worked on in the past and maintained, so you know how they work.
Do I know if it needs any power to operate, or is it just kind of like you put the work in?
It requires power.
Okay. Does there seem to be anything left in it?
No, there's no power in it. And it also looks like there's a couple loose connections that you would have to repair.
Okay. I'll kind of heave it up and try and just walk normally back to the group. I'm guessing it's quite heavy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm struggling with it, but I'll try and take it back to the others. Look what I found.
What did you find?
Well, it's useful for a number of applications. I think it would be good to take with us. Cutting. Prying. And she seems just like very excited by this strange hunk of metal.
Let me know if you need help with that. I guess. Looks heavy.
Oh, I think I'll be fine.
Sure.
She does not look fine.
Oh. I feel like Bobbi is gonna try to get on one side and just very like subtly lift like part of it up.
I think, well, like, Lunar's like torn between like, I'm proficient with a gun and we're in a dangerous situation and I need my hands for my gun, but also this tiny, adorable robot person is struggling with a giant thing. Yeah. Well, just like, yeah, like, if we like all like grab a handle or like a piece of it or something.
It's got two
If any
hands.
of the buildings are locked, we could get inside with this.
This is true. It's true.
It could be useful. My gun is also not bad at piercing through things if needs be. So these together could be really useful for you to break in somewhere.
I mean, maybe if we repair this, and I'm just gonna point at the hunk of metal, we can use it here, right? And maybe in the meantime we could use the gun while you're working on repairing it.
That might be an idea. And she just immediately sits down, gets out whatever she has on her and starts tinkering with it.
I'll just pass you like a little like a screw. It's probably not even the right size. I just pass it to you.
I pick it up from your hand and then look at it and just throw it over my shoulder and go,
Okay. I'm gonna run over and grab it.
Okay. So, Mira sits down and completely like zones in on the task and starts tinkering away with this. Bobbi and Lunar, what are you guys doing whilst Mira does that?
I think first just like making sure everything looks empty and unoccupied. I mean, did you want to try a door somewhere? Like, what's it like? What, like, so there's like multiple buildings kind of around?
Yes, so you've got kind of the main landing area where you are, and then in like a circle around this landing area, you've got like little buildings dotted around, and then you've got kind of like large, what look like warehouse sort of buildings as well. But this landing area is quite large. It looks like it was a big kind of main spaceport. So there's quite a bit of distance in this circular area. Hence why where Xander and Wyoming are going, whilst you guys are doing this, you can see them in the distance still making their way east to where Wyoming is directing Xander. So you can definitely check like a couple buildings near where you are.
I will like drag the hunk of metal closer to a building so that we're not completely separated. And then like if we want to get close to one of the buildings and like check the door, just see if it's open.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I imagine whilst you drag this piece of apparatus over, Mira's kind of just shuffling along the floor, continuing to tinker.
I'm just picking up like the loose bits of metal and stuff from behind that's like trailing behind.
I keep holding out my hand to Bobbi and just being like, screwdriver.
Yep.
Yes.
We're the cutest. Oh.
Okie dokie. So, you guys head over to check one of the buildings. The first one you come to, you see there is a large double door. Trying the handle, it is open.
Get my little pistol out.
I'd be like, oh, like, come around, like sneakily.
So as you kind of crest into the building, doing the little sweep, it looks empty. There's no one there. You see a large room that looks like it is the entrance of a storage unit, in essence, a large storage unit.
We just look around then, again, carefully, like, definitely if there's any corners, I would imagine both of us are, like, popping our heads out, you know?
Yeah. So, you start looking around in this storage unit. Stepping in again, you take your time, you look, and you don't see anyone. There's not many kind of hiding places in here. You don't see anyone, and you do see that there are crates dotted around in here. So it looks like whatever was being stored here has been left. So there are several crates you can attempt to open and see what's inside, if you wish. Okay. So, whilst you're looking through crates, we will jump over to Wyoming and Xander. After a few minutes, Wyoming, you're getting close to the other side of this open spaceport area, and you see the building you recognize. You see the large front door, and you see a sign above it. Unfortunately, the sign has been broken, so it's illegible now. But you remember the sign. You remember it used to glow like white and a pale blue when you were last there, and it was always a very clean building. Now it looks kind of very heavily weathered since the last time you were here. But this is the building you recognize. You're like a few steps away now.
Is there any other thing that I might remember about this place?
I would say in your current state, the main things you remember is there is an office. It's always very clean. You were always sat down when you was in there.
There was a special smell, right? It smelled like cheese inside.
No, a little bit. It was a weird one because it was always very clinical. But then every now and then there was a slight aroma, shall we say.
Huh. I think I know this place, Xander. Very clean. Very... I don't know. There was a scent. There was an aroma inside. Very particular. Let's check it out inside, shall we?
No?
Okay, I approached to the building. What's the condition of the door?
The door looks... There is a door there. There is a handle. It's a solid metal door with no window. You can attempt to open it.
Yeah, I tried to open it.
I think also in this moment, as Wyoming is exploring this place that is just tickling his memory, I'm extremely supportive in this moment, and I want him to remember, so I'm completely taking his lead.
Okay. You open the door, Wyoming, and you step. Do you step inside, or do you just open the door and look in?
I take a big sniff just to check out the aroma inside.
Okay. You open the door and take a sniff inside, and you don't get the same smell you remember. It now smells a little bit musky inside.
Huh. This is weird. I entered. I entered the building just to explore a little bit.
Okay. You enter the building, and at first glance inside, There is a small old strip light that is on, but you can hear the buzz of the light as every now and then there's a slight flicker, not enough to change the lighting of the room, but a slight flicker in the power going through it. Looking around, you see a row of chairs along one wall and a small kind of counter office desk set up, and then a door to the right of that desk that leads off somewhere else.
Oh my God, Xander, we found it. It's your desk. And I point out a desk.
Honestly, I really appreciate that. I would not be opposed getting this back to the ship, if at all possible, but we're gonna need help. Thank you for pointing that out. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I mean, I'm your teammate. I worry about you. I mean, you are deskless, so I try to help you with that. So this is the way that I tell you, please be my friend.
That is genuinely oddly very thoughtful of you. Are you okay exploring this place? I know you're having trouble recalling these memories, remembering these things. Are you okay?
I mean, sometimes I remember, and sometimes I think I remember. I think I was here before, but right now I'm not so sure about it. I'm not even sure if this is the right planet. I think it is.
I mean, you seem in moments quite confident as to where you're going. This seems like
I'm always
a promising
confident.
place.
Confident is part of the man's personality. I mean, I have to be confident.
Well, let's keep looking. This seems promising.
Let's do that.
And I start looking through the desk.
Okay. So looking through the desk, and again, there's a bit of a counter in front of the desk. So it kind of looks a little bit like a reception area. Looking through the desk, you see there is a small kind of computer terminal there that is turned off. There is a small locked filing cabinet, and then there appear to be a couple magazines on the desk, and an empty notepad and pen.
I absolutely pocket the notepad and pen. I always need more empty journals.
Mm-hmm.
Can I connect to the computer?
The computer doesn't appear to have power.
Oh, at all? Okay. No. And you said there was a locked cabinet?
Yes.
Can I try to open it?
Yeah, make me a savvy roll. Well, do you want to try and kind of manipulate the lock or brute force it?
I'm gonna try to manipulate the lock first, and if that doesn't work, I'll probably try to just smash it open. Yeah. I may ask Wyoming's help.
Yeah.
If messing with the lock doesn't work.
Yeah. Make a savvy.
Savvy?
Yeah, please.
21.
Okay. So you kind of, using a little bit of metal you have on you, a bit in your robotic hands, you're able to kind of play around, jimmy the lock, and you pop the lock and are able to open the filing cabinet drawer.
Look through it.
Yeah, look inside. You see a bunch of files with different people's names on.
I take the whole stack of files and I hand them to Wyoming. I want to keep these, and then I kind of keep looking. Is there anything else?
But why do you want to keep this for your desk? It's not necessary. You can only have the desk. I mean,
the information from those files may be important.
I was testing you. I was thinking the same thing. You passed.
Just hold on to them, and I just want to keep looking. Is the desk bolted?
It is. It's part of the counter.
I need Mira.
But looking around the room, the only other
that
thing
was
you
my-
see is the door that leads off.
Further into the building.
Yes. Appears to. It is a closed door, but it does appear that the direction it goes is further in.
Okay, so there was a PC with no power, the notebook which I took, the filing cabinet I emptied, and that's it,
The
right?
2 magazines.
Oh, I looked at the magazine.
Oh, magazines. One is a plethora of interesting intergalactic hairstyles. And the other one appears to be some form of very old-looking, weird clothing magazine where all the females within it are wearing very long, big, puffy white dresses. Weird. Doesn't make sense.
The fashion choices on this planet were very interesting. Shall we move on? And I look at Wyoming.
Wait. Let me see those magazines. And I took the magazines and I start to just check it inside. Why? And I start to speak in out loud. Sometimes people get lonely, and when people get lonely, start to modify things on their magazine, like writing stuff and trying to rip off pages. Something is missing here. Let me see. And I start to check out those magazines.
So, Wyoming, you spend a little bit of time kind of combing through each individual page of these 2 magazines. Whilst you do that, Xander, is there anything you're doing?
I'm moving on.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know if I care if somebody's ripped pages out of a fashion magazine. It could be for a dream board. I don't care. I just look at Wyoming and then I just turn and walk.
Okay. Wyoming, in the first magazine you're flicking through, the one where all the women appear to be wearing white dresses, you turn one page and one of them is circled with repeating red circles, and then written next to it is, "I like this one the most."
Aha, a clue. Finally, at last, a breakthrough on this investigation.
And then you then continue with the other magazine.
In my head, I'm like, this is clearly some receptionist desk who's no longer here. She was clearly shopping for a dress, or it was interested in fashion of some kind. I don't care. And I keep thinking about Wyoming just being so fixated on these magazines. He just befuddles me.
Okay. Xander, where do you go? Do you go through the door?
Can I look to see if there's any other direction to go in, or is it mostly just that back door?
It's just that back door. This appears to be like one waiting room.
Okay, yeah, I go through the door, or I try it.
Yeah, you try the handle, and it is open. It isn't locked. You open the door, and it opens inwards. And make me a tech roll.
Not ready? Oh, that's cocked. 16?
16, okay. As you open the door, you see what appears to be a large piece of apparatus in front of you in the center of this room, and there are cabinets along like 2 sides. At first glance, you're like, what? And then you kind of take a closer look, and it appears to be a chair, like a large chair in the middle, and there appears to be like a big thing attached to the ceiling above it that has like mirrors on, and there might be a light of some sorts there that can be pulled down and put in front of the chair.
Xander's a little triggered. But he kind of looks around to the cabinets. Any like tech I can plug into to get information, or
looking at the cabinets, you don't see any tech. They are just kind of simple door fronted cabinets, no locks on them.
nothing in them of interest.
Having a quick glance in, you see what is the remnants of some sort of paper, like a stack of paper, not like writing paper, but more like for cleaning use. In one of the drawers, you see that there appear to be surgical, maybe surgical items. You've got like one's like it's like a metal handle with a small spike on the end, and next to it there's another one. It's like again metal handle, but this one's got like a small round mirror on the end of it that's like bent slightly.
All right, I turn around out of the dentist office and I go to Wyoming and I ask for the files and I look through them to see if they're just medical records.
Okay. As you kind of step out of this room and back to Wyoming, in this other book, you find another page that's got a circle around it, and it is of a woman with blue hair that's kind of up in like a bun, like a high bun on the top that's got like pearls decorated around it, and then there's like some mesh, some like white mesh behind it, and that circle, and written next to it is, "This looks nice, maybe in a different color."
I'm totally convinced there's some kind of pattern or cipher inside of this,
100%.
unwritten context, but I can't see it. I need inspiration. So I took another couple of peas and I put it in my mouth and I swallow it.
Okay.
Do I see this as I walk out?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's the cipher? Where's the secret code?
I walk up to him and I look at him. I continue to make eye contact with him as I grab the files I handed him out of his hands, and then I turn and start looking through them.
Okay, it appears to be medical records, but they all relate to teeth and oral hygiene. And then you see some like plastic sheets that are black, but then when you hold them up, you can see an image through them. And again, it looks like teeth.
I throw them back on the desk. Wyoming, this is a dentist office.
I know.
Okay, so why are we here?
This was the office that I remember when I was a kid. What?
When you say that, I immediately go back to the files to try to find Wyoming's file.
Searching through the files, you do not find a Wyoming Jones name.
Wyoming, what? Did you have a different name before Wyoming?
Probably.
I hand him the files. Look through these and see if any of these names are recognizable to you.
Okay. I start to check out all the files. Is there any name that caught my eye, DM?
No.
Sorry, bro. Not luck.
No, I'm sorry. I was hoping it would help you remember something else.
I mean, you're trying to be a good friend. I understand and I respect that. That's cool.
Anywhere else you want to go? I think we're done here.
Yes. No, let's go.
Do we want to head back to the crew?
Yeah, not right. Not particularly. I mean, this is a very great quality time between a couple of friends. Just let's get crazy. Let's just explore.
Wyoming. Need I remind you, we are hunting a serial killer?
Yeah, but let me remind you, we have an hour and 45 minutes of quality time. So what are we discussing here?
Is there any other place in this area, any other direction that you're drawn to that we can go look at for the next 40 minutes, and then we are walking back? This is a dentist office.
I know this is crazy for you, but I was thinking that probably I recognize the serial killer from my youth. So I thought I could find some information, a piece of information of him on this dentist office. Sorry for trying to be a good friend and a good teammate.
You didn't tell me why you wanted to be here. You just took me here.
Because I don't think in those terms. I'm not a regular person.
Well, I can agree with that. So none of the names.
Just
None
go.
of the names.
I mean, we're done here. Just go.
Fine. I walk back to the crew then.
Okay. You head back towards the crew.
Xander's heartless.
So you head back, making your way back to the ship and where Bobbi, Mira, and Lunar are. Bobbi, Mira, and Lunar, you were checking the items in this storage area, these crates. Lunar, opening the first crate, you find inside what look like electronics, and they are like large, kind of cylindrical things. You're not quite sure what they are. You've not seen them before. With two connectors on the top, and you find like a crate that is just full of these. There's maybe like 20 in this crate. Bobbi, the crate you open, looking inside, it looks like it housed something organic that has since decomposed away, and there is now just like the dried remnants of some sludge at the bottom and like a crusty dried leaf.
Luna, did you do any better than me? I don't know what the hell this is.
Yeah. Come take a look at this. What do you think?
Help me show Mira. No, okay.
We're like, Mira, is this of use to you?
Mira's cross-legged on the floor, fiddling with the jaws of life still, but she looks up and is like, "Oh,
I was like, I can hold it, right?
Yeah, you can pick like they're only about that big, but there's like 20 of them in there. You pick one up and you're like, "Is this anything?" Mira, you instantly recognize it as a battery.
ooh, a battery. This could come in useful."
I'll bring a couple over.
Okay. Looking at the mirror, they don't fit. I mean, looking at the equipment you have in front of you, these batteries don't fit it, but you could kind of jerry rig it so that they do. You spend a moment or two attempting to attach these batteries. The first kind of 3 that Luna gave you were all dead. Checking the 4th one, you kind of play around with some wires to see if there's a current in it, and it feels like there is power within it, but it doesn't feel like it's a full battery.
Okay. Can I use my body battery to power a battery, or is that batteryception?
You have to allow that. It's interesting. You have to allow that. I mean, you're making history here, GM.
Make me a
cute as
tech
hell.
roll. Make me a tech roll.
15.
15. Okay, someone take note of this. You use your internal bioorganic heart / battery to build up some charge to put power into this battery pack that you have in front of you, and you don't fill the battery, but you put enough into it so that it's almost a full battery pack in front of you. You all, well, Luna and Bobbi witness Mira do this, and the physical kind of mechanic of how this works is she kind of like plugs 2 fingers in, like jams her thumbs into the into the connectors, and you see that she jerks violently as she does this.
Oh God. Okay. Mira, I'm gonna like run over.
Oh, don't touch her! Don't touch her!
I'm not gonna touch her. I'm just coming over here. Are you? What do we do?
And clear the area of her head if she's having a seizure.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure
Just,
she can't hit anything.
I'll like take off my jacket and like kind of place it maybe like roughly where like her head is, so she doesn't like bash it or anything.
Am I completely unresponsive whilst this is happening as well? Like not able to talk or?
No, you're still able to interact. That is just, but your body is violently kind of jerking as you're building up this static charge to transfer it over.
Just a second.
Oh. Okay.
Let us know if you need help.
Just giving you a really awkward thumbs up while this is happening.
Is she okay?
I don't know. Just, and I'll like kind of elbow you to also do a thumbs up with me.
Very good. On.
Yep. Great.
How long should we wait?
What the fuck do we
I
do?
don't know. I'm not good at tech stuff. This is...
Do we have any idea of what we're supposed to be like?
I am -1 tech, so don't ask Lunar.
So as you two are kind of stood there, thumbs up, kind of talking amongst yourselves, whilst Mira's violently jerking next to you, you're like, what do we do? And as you say that, Mira, you finish kind of transferring enough energy into the battery to make it usable and not enough energy to turn you off and kind of end you.
Does she look okay? Like normal?
She's sat there cross-legged on the floor in the same position she was a moment ago. She's just not violently jerking right now.
I'm gonna like kneel down and I'm not gonna touch her yet, but I'll kind of have my hand hovering over her shoulder. Are you okay?
I'm perfectly.
How about you lay down? You did great. Okay. It's just, what do you need from us? Do you need anything from us?
Nah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna lie down on the floor.
Okay.
You have my jacket under your head, so.
As you lie down, Mira, with Bobby's jacket hold your head, you take a moment to rest. And as you take this moment, we will also take a moment to rest. So we're going to have a quick 5-10 minute break, refill our water, get ourselves acclimatized for the second half of this. So for those watching and still with us, thank you very much for watching so far. We will be back in 5 to 10 minutes, and we will see where this goes then. So see you shortly. Welcome back. We are back from our bio break. We are all refreshed. We are all hydrated. I will not be advertising who that is, but because they don't sponsor me. But we are all hydrated and ready to get back into things. So we left off with Mira having a quick lie down after using their internal energy source to recharge a battery in front of them. Whilst Mira has taken a moment to rest after doing that, Xander and Wyoming, you guys have made your way across the spaceport back to the ship. Bobbi, Mira, and Lunar are not with the ship. The ship appears to be locked up. Where are they? Xander's gone looking.
Xander's investigating.
Let's investigate. Yeah. Is there any available info regarding the environment, natural exits on the ground, or so that's any information about the soil?
Not where you are. No, it's very much like concrete and steel sheeting on the floor. As you guys were landing, you did see that like 2/3 of your view was jungle. And that's just outside this settlement.
I'm still I'm kind of sad because about how things go out between Xander and myself. I mean, I'm trying to be a good partner, but he's so, I mean, you know, Xander is kind of difficult. So I don't know if I have to make the first move, you know, about so I approach to Xander and I say like nice weather, right?
Is it nice weather?
It's...
I don't know, you tell me, you're a bad friend.
I was asking Danny.
It's... I mean, it's okay. It's not like super sunny, it's super nice. You buy the ocean, so there's a bit of a breeze, it's a little bit overcast. The wind's picking up a little bit. Could be better.
You said you were here as a child? Definitely as a child.
I have no recollection of that. I think I was a child on this planet, but I'm not sure because I was a different person. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I'm trying to get that serial killer as much as you do, but
Wyoming, I can't even tell you how much sense that makes to me.
And why is that?
Maybe I'll tell you someday.
Well,
Anywhere else you want to go? You want to get back to the others?
I don't know
We've been
why,
here.
but I sincerely believe there's some answers on these magazines, and I bring it up because I do have them inside my jacket.
Take them with you, pal. Why not? I'm not gonna stop you.
Here's my theory. Probably the person that wrote those things on the pages are related to our serial killer. That's my theory. And there's a pattern between those notes inside of this magazine.
You think that a receptionist from a dentist office is related to a serial killer that hit on this planet and has probably never
Absolutely.
been here before?
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Well, I guess you better bring those magazines back to the ship for studying.
I will. I need some help because I can't do this by my own. That's why I'm sticking around this crew. Because yeah, I understand that I'm kind of weird and I'm good looking and hot, but that's not the point. The thing is that we have to work as a team. You know what I mean?
I do. What do you need help with?
Right now, I think that this planet is related to that space station that we saw earlier, and it's communicating with through something that we can manipulate from here. All we have to do is find the operation system center that it's here somewhere. We have just to find it.
So you think if we find the control center for the elevator, we'll get more information?
With this magazine, yes.
90% of that, I will absolutely agree with you on. We should go find it. I'm wondering if it's closer to the actual elevator itself. I don't know if it would be this far away.
Is there any other useful memory on me regarding where I have to go, GM?
Make me a savvy roll.
13?
13. Okay, so just enough for a pass. You take a moment to try and think. Nothing's coming to mind. Nothing's coming up. You feel like you feel like this place is, is part of your past. You have definitely been here. There's a lot. It feels like a long time ago, but you're struggling to kind of make sense of locations now.
Okay, this is my suggestion. We should just take a shot at the dark to see how it goes. Just start to walk this area to see if we can find anything interesting.
I mean, yeah, we have a little bit more time before they're going to come looking for us, thinking we're dead. So we have time before they start thinking we're dead.
Okay. Just, what do you say? We already walked to the east. What do you say if we walk north or south? What do you prefer?
I mean, I don't want to spend too much time here more than we have to because we are hunting a serial killer. Danny, if we head south, will we head towards the water?
Southeast is kind of the direction that would bring you towards the cliffs and the platform towards the tower and the elevator.
Okay. If we head southeast, that's where the platform and the elevator is. So we might as well go in that direction and see what else we see along the way. It's going to be a little bit of a walk.
Okay, let's start walking there to see if we find anything. And I start walking towards that direction. Just checking the magazines again, and I say something like, I kind of dig it this fashion. I mean, kind of cool.
I like that hairstyle for you.
I should try it sometime.
I bet Mira could help. They seem into fashion.
Yeah.
We just keep walking, looking at the magazine, and I'm genuinely actually interested now in the fashion of this magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the two of you head southeast towards the platform that juts out into the sea, into the ocean for the elevator shaft in this tower that leads up to this moon station. And you're heading that way across the open kind of area of this spaceport. So whilst you guys make your way there, Lunar and Bobbi, Mira has been kind of laid there for a minute or two now, not really moving much, eyes open, just kind of lay there waiting.
You okay?
I think
So
Okay. Do you still want to lay there? We can go open some more boxes if you want to have another minute.
Oh no, I feel quite fine.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Luna, just eyes kind of wide, like,
I'll, will more of these batteries help her? I can, like, empty the barrel.
Don't worry, I think I have it powered now.
Okay.
She just stacks them next to her anyway. Is there any more crates that we could open or anything?
Yeah, looking around, there's probably 3 more crates.
Alright.
One apiece, and then we open the last one together.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Just the whole time, like, glancing back at Mira, like, you good? You good? You know?
She seems fine. She's just sat on the floor, just a little kind of contented smile on her face. Kind of like she's a bit sleepy.
Okay.
Okay. Bobby, you get to a crate and it's like a stout, square, cube crate made of wood. Pop it open. Looking inside, it appears to be full of clothing.
Ooh. Okay.
Like
Anything good?
Yeah.
kind of, it's all kind of like, it looks like a very off-white color. It's quite compact with stuff, but it's all off-white. Like lots of tiny holes kind of covering it. Like as a material, there's very little there. It's just all tons of dotted holes, like layered fabric.
Like a mesh or a gauze?
Oh yeah, or like
or
a
like it's
kind
got
of,
moth holes.
no, not moth holes.
Okay.
Yeah, more like a, how best to describe it?
Like eyelets.
Netting?
No,
Netting.
not netting, not eyelets, more like a
Mesh.
kind of a mesh. But it looks like it was like white at one point, but now it seems off-white due to like age.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's big. Like you kind of, to try and pull one piece out, it appears to be a big piece, but you see like places where body parts would enter.
Cool.
Luna,
I'll open a crate.
you pop your crate open, and inside you see cans, like large metal cans.
Does it remind me of Xander's hand?
Say that again.
Does it remind me of Xander's hand? Like Xander has a hand,
Cans, like tin cans they are.
right? Oh, cans.
Yes, cans, not cans, not hands.
I heard hands, and I was like, my
No.
bad.
Oh,
No, cans,
oh
tin
the
cans.
British accent.
like food provision cans.
Could be.
Ooh.
But they're all metal. They're all like tin, but there's no markings on them.
And they're sealed.
Yes.
No, like easy opening.
No. There's no pull tab.
Oh, I want to open it so bad. I think I have a knife. What? Maybe I don't
I
have.
have a fusion welder and an electric multi-tool.
Will that
I don't know if
open
that's
it?
got a can opener.
I mean, if you want to use a fusion kind of welder to open a can.
What if
It
it's
seems a
like,
bit overkill, but
can I like gather what this could be, or do I have no idea?
I mean, if you shake it, there appears to be something in it. Has like it like sloshes inside. It's a very good word.
Is there anything pokey nearby, like a big nail or anything?
I still have my screw.
Yes.
I still have my screw.
Can I get like the screw in a big rock and just poke a hole in it?
If you want to.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay. Okay, so roll me a dex check for this, because I'm gonna be cruel.
Oh, 16 plus 1 is 17.
Okay. Good roll. Okay, so you pop the screw like against the top, and then you're like, I'm gonna need some force to put this through. So you kind of stamp the screw into the top to pierce it, and you pull it back out, and you now have a little hole in the top and a little kind of bubble of brown liquid kind of bubbles out the top.
I'll smell it a little bit.
Smell it. It smells. You've not smelled this for a while. That's the best way I can put it. It's got a kind of meaty smell to it, like a rich, almost kind of gravy-ish smell.
Alright. Oh, I don't know if this is. I was like a little taste.
Take a taste. Okay. Can you make me
Oh, no.
no? You taste it and you get a kind of rich, meaty taste. You can taste like the saltiness of gravy and meat. That's just from a little dab.
What kind of meat?
You can't quite distinguish from that.
Mm-hmm.
There is no meat in the little bubble of liquid.
But this is definitely food, and it doesn't smell bad.
Doesn't
taste
smell bad.
bad.
Tastes edible. It hasn't killed you
Okay.
yet.
All right. Yes. I'll start taking I guess something I can carry.
Yeah, in this crate there's maybe like 30 to 40 cans.
How much would that be for like items or what have you?
Each can would be one item.
Okay.
In terms of your personal belongings, it would say each can would be a slot.
All right. I'll take 3. 3 cans. Stuff in my bag.
Okay.
I think it's neat, guys. We should, if we have time, we should take. It's always good to take provisions, right?
Yeah. And we could probably come back and grab some more.
Do I want to take it to the ship, or?
Yeah.
All right. What about this fluffy thing?
With the what? Sorry.
The white fluffy dress thing.
I don't know what the use for it is, you know.
Will it work for bandages, or is it?
absolutely.
Was that me?
Come again?
Perhaps it could be used for
Insulation.
Oh,
No.
that's a good suggestion. Oh, if I take it, all this stuff, will you guys be okay for a second? I think.
I'll like have my little gun. And then I'll have the screw as well that I had given you. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
How far away is the ship from us?
From where you guys are, it's maybe like 30, 40 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
so
guys didn't venture too far away.
I guess I'll haul, if the ship will unlock for me, I'll haul everything.
Okay.
Done.
She's just kind of moving it from the storeroom to outside the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you kind of go back back and forth and move all the cans there. It's probably going to take you like 3 back and forth to like get everything. Bobbi, what are you doing whilst Luna does that?
I guess on one of the trips when Luna is back, I'll be like, do you mind if I open the last crate?
Oh yeah, there's no way. Go for it.
Yeah, and then I'll open the last crate.
Okay. You pop this crate open, and looking inside, it appears to be similar to the first one you opened. It had organic material in that has since kind of decomposed and rotted away into nothingness.
And then I'll go and I'll just sit with Mira while Luna's kind of like going back and forth.
Okay. What's Mira doing?
I'm now like starting to get up a little bit. Just trying to get back on my 2 feet if I can. And yeah, just looking around to see if there's any more supplies, but I think we opened all the crates now, so
Yes.
just looking for bits of salvageable stuff if there's anything, or any kind of tech.
Yeah. Now that you're kind of in a better position, I will say that the battery that you've got that is charged, prior to charging it, you've kind of prepped the mandibles, as we'll call them, these jaws of life, to take a battery, so that new battery can be attached now, and fingers crossed it works. But looking around, the only thing of interest to you is the box that had all these batteries in. Looking through, you find kind of 3 more that are semi-charged but not fully. The rest seem to have kind of depleted over time.
Okay, I'll take the 3 that are kind of charged and see if I can put them in my pocket to take with us, and then I'd take the crate of uncharged ones and take them back to the ship if Captain's also headed back there doing another trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll have to kind of drag the crate because it's quite heavy with all these batteries in, but you can definitely take it back. Can the 3 of you
Oh god.
all make me Sally rolls?
Savvy.
11.
Okay. Did Bobbi roll?
I rolled a 1 for a 2.
Nice. Okay.
I get a void point though, correct?
Yes. Any fails? Anything under a
Yeah.
12 is a fail. Therefore, you get a void point. That Luna.
I got 16.
16. Okay. Thankfully, someone did. Excuse me. So, as you're on kind of Luna, your 3rd and final trip with these cans, you're moving with Bobbi and Mira as they're kind of together pulling this crate of batteries, with the mandibles kind of dumped on top, back to the ship. And you get out of this kind of storage lockup and to like your 20 feet or so away from the ship, and you hear the sound of a door open. But only you, Luna.
Hear that? Oh, kind of like, like we go. Try and listen again. Is there anything else?
You kind of stop and tell Mira and Bobbi to just wait, and you hear the creak of what appears to be a door, and then like there's a pause, and then you just hear a very low and then you hear the creak go as the sound of a door opens wider.
Can I get a direction of where that came from?
Say that again?
Like a direction?
Yeah, so as you're kind of pulling towards the ship, you hear this from your left, which is the opposite side to where you've been kind of looking at the buildings.
Could it? Did you guys hear that? There's a door.
I didn't hear what.
Something's here. Let's keep our eyes peeled and ears open and try and stay quiet.
I'll leave the crate from where I was dragging it and just stick close behind them.
Yeah, I'll kind of like broadly put myself more in front of them and kind of like peer around and see if I can see anything in the direction I heard it.
Okay. Make me a dexterity check.
+1 is 2.
Okay, do you have any void points?
I do.
You can spend them to get advantage if you want.
Might as well, right? 12 +1 is 13.
13, just passed. Okay, so as Mira and Bobby kind of stop what they're doing and move behind you as you kind of put yourself in a readied position, from the left you hear what was the creak of a door. Suddenly kind of you hear a crash as it is kind of flung open, and looking directly at that sound you can now see which door it was, and you see a figure running towards you, making a high pitch but still guttural kind of screeching sound as it rushes towards you. And it kind of it's humanoid in shape and size, but it kind of runs and it's kind of like flapping its arms as it kind of runs towards you.
I hate zombies. Why? So it's coming full speed. How far away is it?
It's probably 60 feet away.
Fuck. I mean, and it looks. There's a not sane human vibe to this run.
So because of the dex roll, I'll say you have enough time to look and kind of get a glance at this. It looks human in size, shape, limbs. It looks slightly gaunt, with a weird looking face.
Okay.
It is rushing at you.
I think I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Oh no, it's gonna draw more, isn't it?
Okay. So you're gonna shoot at it. So you're gonna now initiate combat. And as you're the one initiating it, you take first place in initiative for this. We will discuss the initiative order in a minute. But
We're not there. So bad.
you take point, so you're going to attack this thing as it's rushing towards you. So what are you going to do?
I mean, I think it's 60 feet away. I'm gonna.
It's probably about 45 now.
45 now.
40.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna.
35.
I'm gonna point my gun and shoot at it.
Okay. Roll an attack. So as it's ranged, this will be D20 plus tech for a ranged attack.
Sorry,
Roll. It's a tech roll for this.
a tech roll?
Yes, that's what.
Okay.
It says attack rolls work in this.
Okay. 14 minus 13. That is a 13.
13. Okay, so that hits. Where is this? Okay, so roll damage for that.
2d4. Ooh, 3 and 4, 7 points.
7 points. Okay. So, this person comes rushing towards you. And it's just like sprinting at this point towards you. And you lift up your weapon at it. Bobbi and Mira, you've seen this weapon Lunar carries, but you've never been sure what it is and what it does. And Lunar, you aim using your ex-military training to get a precise shot with this, knowing what this weapon does. You aim for this creature's stomach, as it's like the largest area to shoot, and you fire. And your gun lets off an almighty bang. And as this creature is sprinting, like as you've aimed and got it in position, this creature's maybe like 20, 15 feet away now. And you fire, it bangs, it shoots out its projectile, and you sever this person in half as you blow out their stomach and their spine, and they just literally, as they're running, they just go and split, and two halves of the body hit the ground unmoving, with blood and viscera kind of laid out before you. As that happens, Xander and Wyoming, you hear this echoing gunshot from behind, which is where the ship is.
I immediately hear it. I look at Wyoming for like not even a full second, and I run to the ship.
What does Wyoming
And I've got
do?
my knife out because I'm like, we're not alone.
What do you do, Wyoming? You also hear this.
I guess it's insane, but I will follow Xander
Okay,
to see what happened.
cool. Can you both make me dexterity rolls and just throw your results in the chat for me?
Sure.
Lunar, you blow this thing in half and it drips to the floor in front of you. As the sound echoes out, you hear another sound coming from the doorway that this one shot out of. Now, your first initiative, you've initiated this, and the way this works is you get to pick who goes next in initiative.
That's cool.
But I will say, in terms of the way initiative works in this game, whoever initiated it goes first. They pick who goes next. That includes the enemy that they are fighting against. Whoever goes last gets to pick who goes first in the next round, and that can be themselves.
Okay.
So someone could get a double turn if they're last.
So just to clarify, one person picks the next person, and then that person picks who goes after them.
Yes. Yeah, and it falls that way.
Got it.
But
That's
whoever's last picks whoever goes first in the next round, and that could be themselves. So if you, in essence, just for clarity's, we're all new to this game. If you let the enemy go last, they could then go first the next round and basically get a double turn.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Just
So being
the
like
tactics.
second,
Totally. Yeah, it's probably
putting
the
them
best.
second last could be strategic.
There's a little bit of strategy there. But yeah, Luna, you're next. And you see another creature, another one of these people coming through the door, again with this same guttural high-pitched screech.
Well, now we know what happened here.
So only one, we only see one so far.
Yes.
Okay. I will pick Bobbi to go next.
Okay.
Bobbi does it fun.
Bobbi, you're next in initiative. This thing is 55 feet away.
Okay.
50 feet.
Yeah, I have a question for clarification. I realize you're counting down to make me stressed, which I
Mhm.
appreciate, but
You're
also
welcome.
at the same time, I have questions.
Okay. will
In
pause.
terms of like a pistol, what is the distance, would you say? Like, how close would I have to let this thing get?
I would say like say 30 feet. You've got
Okay.
a good shot. Beyond 30 feet with this sort of pistol, you'd probably be a bit at disadvantage.
Okay.
Luckily,
so
this is at 30 feet now.
Perfect. So I will go ahead and shoot it.
Okay. It's so for ranged attacks, it is a tech roll.
Tech.
Melee would be a body roll.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use a void point because I have one, which I also failed. So,
Wonderful.
mhm.
So, you shoot at this creature that was 30 feet away, and miss. You just kind of like in the nerve of this thing getting closer and closer, you fire and it kind of veers. Your shot veers wide. Let me just check one thing. Because we have a new thing that's gone because you have failed a void roll. Let's look into what happens here very quickly.
We're just using all the mechanics today.
We are. Let's find the...
It's a learning episode. This is also our first combat.
It is. Okay.
And our last, if we're keeping rolling like this.
Roll me a... how many void points do you have after spending that one?
I believe none.
None. Okay.
Yeah. I've been spending those boys.
Okay, so roll a d6.
Okay. It's a 2.
Okay. You're fine.
Hell yeah. Excellent.
But that is your turn. This creature is now 15 feet away.
Okay. And so right now the other people who haven't gone, it's just Mira and this creature, correct?
Currently, it is Mira and this creature. After the next turn, Xander and Wyoming will be there.
Okay, in that case, I want to go ahead and pick the creature, just so it doesn't get that double up turn.
Okay.
I might regret that, but...
I'm in front of the other two. I placed myself in front of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, so this person rushes towards the three of you. As it gets closer, you can see that this appears to be human. They are gaunt, thin, slightly starved looking, but they are running full speed, mouth wide open, and you can see that their teeth appear to be pointed, sharpened to points, and they are covered in their torso. Their upper body is exposed, but they do have pants on, but their torso is covered in scars, and they rush at the three of you and go for Lunar, who has put themselves at the front, and they are gonna lunge and attempt to bite you. So 14. You can try and defend against this, and make me a dex.
Natural 20
Okay.
plus 1, 21.
Okay. Cool. So with that, I will say this creature lunges at you, like mouth agape to bite, and yeah, you kind of like move, you sidestep it and push it away, and this creature will hit the floor, and kind of do a forward roll as they stumble. They will then kind of scramble back to their feet, but they are now behind the three of you, and they are kind of like pushing themselves forward back up onto their feet to lunge towards you, now redirecting their gaze towards Mira, who is at the back. So, and that was their go. Now, next initiative. So at this point, I will say Xander and Wyoming, you guys have rushed over Xander getting there before Wyoming doesn't affect ability for initiative. It just, you got there first because you set off running first, and you're slightly faster in that run. But as you approach, you see that there is a person that has just lunged towards Lunar and been swatted to one side, and they're getting back up, and they appear to be aggressive towards the group and rushing towards them.
Did Mira go?
Mira has not gone yet.
Okay, just curious.
It's yeah. That was the creature's go. So there, and that's what you see as you guys have approached. Next person in initiative will be for this, we will say Mira is next.
Okay. I'm gonna run back towards the crate of batteries that I left, which aren't too far, hopefully, and just crouch down behind them, get out my multi-tool, which I'm assuming is pretty small, but anything that's kind of sharp on the multi-tool, just keep out. And yeah, I'm just crouched behind, looking back. And I don't think there's much more I could do this turn, so
Okay.
I'm gonna stay there.
Okay, so you get to pick who goes next.
I would say Luna probably needs to go, or we give Luna a double turn because she's close. So the others are here now.
The others are here now, but this
round.
will say in terms of like round one, you're the last person in round one, and then they've arrived for round two. But we're top of the order now, so you can pick anyone.
I don't know what everyone does in combat already, so yeah.
I do melee with a knife. Mostly.
But
I
you
think
wouldn't
that's all
know
I
that.
can do.
I
wish you wouldn't know that.
So,
but is it a character thing to pick the initiative, or is it a player thing?
It's up to you.
All right.
I was gonna go with Xander anyway. So, because you know, he seems like a dude who could do some damage. So I'm gonna say Xander.
Do I still see this creature on the ground?
It's like scrambling to its feet, heading towards Mira.
But it's on the ground, like crawling.
It's on its feet now.
Oh, is it?
It is now.
I mean, that's fine. Then I'm going to try to kick it in its stomach to knock it down again, and then stab it in the side of its neck.
Okay. Make me a body roll. And if you want to do both those things, I'll say you'll have to do it with disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna freestyle combat a little bit.
Then in that case, I'll just go to stab him in the neck.
Okay, yeah, straight body roll. As in the dice roll.
16.
16. Okay. Roll damage for your knife.
I think it's 1d4, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
2.
2. Okay. You manage to stab it, and you kind of get it like in between two ribs.
Okay.
But you pull and you cut like a gaping wound into its side. And as you do, you can hear like the air go as you pierce
Like its lungs are punctured.
Yeah, as you pierced one of its lungs. It lets out a ungodly scream at the pain of that injury, but it is still up. It kind of adjusts its position slightly, holds its side, and then let's see, who's it gonna go for? It's gonna, because you've hit it from behind, it's kind of turned, but it's redirected its gaze towards Bobbi in front of them, and they're gonna attempt to now start moving towards Bobbi
On their next turn.
on their turn. Yeah, well, they're in movement, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Woof. Okay, then in that case, I'm gonna pick Luna to go next.
Okay.
Or did we want Luna to go twice? It doesn't matter. Luna can go next.
Okay. Luna, you're up.
Okay, so
It's like 10 feet away from you, if that. But it's moving towards Bobbi, who's kind of next to you.
okay, I'll kind of like Sorry, Sam asked a question. I'll kind of like try and like put myself again in front of Bobbi, and will anyone be in my? If I shoot it, will anyone be in danger of it? Going through it. I don't want to.
I would say with your training, you can kind of move and angle your shot so that no one is in the radius of anything.
Okay, then I will shoot it. I'll shoot this.
Okay, tech roll.
Fuck. I got an 8.
Okay. Are you gonna use any void points?
I don't have any right now.
You don't have any? Okay. Well, you do now because you just generated one, but
Oh.
you can't use that on the check you just generated it on. Okay, so you shoot, but this thing's kind of very frantic, and it kind of ducks out of moves out of the way of your shot. Luckily, you don't hit anyone, but your shot kind of goes wide, and just misses it. This creature is it's beelining for Bobbi right now. But that's your go. Who do you want to go next? Everyone is within range.
Wyoming, would we see and know that he has a gun? Because I assume it's on his person.
Who?
Wyoming, is your gun on your person?
I have my gun on my pants, on the back of my pants.
Okay. So we would know that in character that he has a. No, we wouldn't know that.
No, he hid it. He kept it hidden all this time. He's never shown anyone.
Oh,
Yep.
well then, okay.
Would I have known as a military person that he's packing?
Probably not. No.
Okay. So.
I mean,
I've been a lot of things in my past.
I think I'll still have Wyoming go.
Okay. Wyoming. As
Yes.
you're running up, you see Xander jab their knife into the side of this creature. It screams, keeps moving. Lunar tries to shoot it with their gun but misses, and this person is running towards Bobbi. What do you do?
I will pull out my gun out of my pants and I will scream something like, "Don't worry, love, I got it!" And I will place myself 20 feet away of the creature and I will open fire.
Okay. Make me a tech roll.
Ooh, 17.
17. Nice. Make me a roll damage on that.
Okay. The damage roll is with a d6, right?
Yes.
4.
4. Okay. Nice. So you shout out, raise your gun, aiming at this creature's back. You pull the trigger, and at this point, Bobbi, this creature is like 10 feet away, just dead-eyeing you, like teeth filed to points, with like a deep grimace on its face, with its mouth open, moving, and you hear a bang, and then you see this creature's eyes go wide, and then you just see a little bit of blood just spurt out the side of their head, and it drops at your feet, like drops forward, landing right in front of your feet.
No, just a little bit back if I'm able to.
You can kind of
like,
just
nope.
kind of
Okay.
scoot back a step.
Yep.
But it drops to the floor, unmoving. The only sounds that you all hear is Wyoming's footsteps as he kind of brings himself to a stop, as he did all that whilst running towards you.
Is everyone all right? Are you all right, Captain?
Yep.
Oh, now we know why there are no people here.
The hell is that thing?
Unless they were the people.
I don't want to find out if we could be that. We gotta go.
Yeah. It was a good shot.
Thank you very much. I'm out of practice, but you know, you never know how to going to react in front of a situation like this.
I hold my arm out to Wyoming to shake. Well done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it coming from you.
I keep making eye contact. I said, we gotta go. We gotta go. The whole crew. We gotta go. We found which direction the elevator's in. I suggest we go back to the ship and land over there. We can't waste any more time if there are more of these.
While Xander is speaking that we gotta go, I approach to the creature's body just to investigate a little bit. GM.
Yeah. Not a problem. Yeah, Xander, whilst you're kind of
In flight or fight mode?
yes,
Just,
yeah,
oof.
whilst you're like that and you're kind of urging everyone to keep moving, Wyoming, you look at this creature on the floor.
Yes.
Taking a casual glance at it and looking down, this appears to be a human. Appears to be a human. They look slightly emaciated through lack of food. Their teeth have been filed down to points, and they appear to have scars all over their torso. A lot of them appear to be self-inflicted. You can see that a lot of them look like scratch marks, but like deep gouges. But looking at the angles, it's like they've torn at themselves. Looking at them as a whole, you look at the pants and you see like a pair of work pants and a pair of boots, like they're a worker, maybe someone who worked at the spaceport moving cargo. They look like people. They've got long hair. It's a bit scraggly, but they literally look like they're a normal person, but they've lost a lot of weight drastically, mutilated themselves, gone a little bit insane.
I will give him a quick pat on the pants just to see if I can.
Nothing.
Poor bastard, dying without name. Okay, we gotta go.
Yeah, and I think while that was happening, I'm probably like trying to open up the ship. Anything that I'm like, I have no clue what to do. I'm just like, Mira, come on, let's go.
Okay, I'll help trying to get the doors open and just get us on board as quick as possible.
As they're doing that, and I'm also kind of moving, I'm moving slower than everybody else and just keeping an eye out to see if any more of these creatures are coming towards us. Because we were making a lot of noise, and if there was more than one already, there's bound to be more.
Okay. You do that. You keep an eye out. Bobbi and Mira, you managed to get the doors open again. You locked them well. You actually did a really good job, which makes it a little bit more difficult for you to open and delays things slightly. But you get the doors open, and you're able to get on board your ship.
Immediately running to the cockpit and like taking off as quickly as I can.
Okay. Are you waiting for the rest of them to get on?
The ship, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's it. Given. Like, come on.
I do go back and try and grab the jewels of life if I can.
Okay, yeah.
Before I go.
Yeah, because you've got everything kind of stacked up outside the door, so if you want to grab bits of that
I'll help
cargo.
her and like load up just the stuff we got real quick if we have time.
Yeah, I'll say if you want to do things quickly, you're able to get the mandibles on, and maybe like 10 cans of food and like 4 extra batteries that Mira didn't have already on them. And you get all that stuff on and everyone on board the ship. Bobbi, can you make me a savvy roll, please?
I run out into the cockpit and I just kind of point off in the general direction in which Wyoming and I saw the elevator.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna burn another void point. Oh well. Okay, actually, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna use a different dice because now I'm scared. Okay.
Best dice.
The superstitions we have. much, but what fucking number is that? Okay, 17.
17. Okay.
Go away. This is not a dice.
Well, it was a 16, but it looked weird. I was like,
Okay.
what the hell?
With that 17, you managed to jump in the cockpit, jump in your pilot seat, throw on all the systems you need to get the ship off and up into the air. And you literally kind of grab the controls, pull back, and almost do a vertical takeoff up. And you're now kind of heading off and up towards the elevator itself, towards the platform. And as you do, and you move up, you look to your left, out the window, down at the spaceport ground, and you see the shadows of 3 things moving. And as you kind of look down and see them, you see that they are running at speed towards the corpses of the other 2 that you had killed. And that's where we'll end it for today.
Oh.
So, to those watching, thank you very much for joining us tonight in our 3rd episode of A Corrupted Frontier, our Death in Space campaign. We'll be back in 2 weeks for episode 4, because we are going every other week on a Saturday. But before we call it a night and say our goodbyes, I'd like to go around our table so my wonderful cast here can sell their wares and let you know who they are, where you can find them, what they're up to elsewhere. So, at the beginning we went clockwise, so we'll go counterclockwise and start with Cori.
Okay, exciting. So, hi, I'm Cori. I played Bobbi today. You can find me on Twitter, lovedays_, that's LOV. You can also find me here with Nicest Contention, that's every other Wednesday. You can also find me over on Mistress Winter's channel for a Pathfinder 2nd edition game. And yeah, I'm around. Come talk to me. Come geek out about stuff.
Thank you very much. Homero.
Hello, everyone. My name is Homero Rios. I was playing Wyoming Jones on this party. And other than that, I'm a comic writer with work published by Heavy Metal Magazine, Metal Urland, and Revista Cthulhu. Please follow me on every social network as the Homero Rios. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up in our cast, Mazz.
Hello, my name is Mazz, and this is my face. You can find me everywhere as Mazzface, except Twitter, which is at @RealMazzface. I have been Xander Praetorian. You can also find me very often on Open Circuit Studios, and I've got a lot of cool stuff coming up on Open Circuit, and you can find me here every other week as your weird alien chrome boy.
Thank you very much. Next up is Mel.
I am Melissa Rose. I played Lunar, and yeah, you can find me here every other week. And I'm at Melrose Maps on Instagram. Mostly there. That's about it. Yeah. That's all, folks.
Thank you very much. And next up, Dawn.
Hello, my wares are of the highest quality. You can find me on Twitch. I'm a full-time Twitch streamer at twitch.tv/DawnWhisper. You can also find me as Dawn Whisper on all other platforms, apart from TikTok, where I'm DawnWhisper_. I also am in Roads Less Traveled, which is an Elder Scrolls D&D campaign, and I play Serendipity at the moment. I was Carolyn in Season 1. And I do nerdy things on the internet, like cosplay, tabletop, and mostly RPGs.
Thank you very much. And lastly, I'm Danny. You can find me online most places at Check for Traps. I'm part of the team here at the Initiative Order, so you'll find me here every other week doing this. You'll find me in our Discord, sending all sorts of memes. Check out our Discord if you haven't. We run free community games there every month. Just sign up and play, no experience necessary. We do everything we can to assist. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors because we have some fantastic sponsors that help the channel and help our community. Those being Session Zero Clothing, amazing D&D streetwear, Norse Foundry, arts and dice makers, Mithril Armory, who have done some amazing Kickstarters for some really cool dice, including the tin 20s, which are like the credit card size flat dice that you pop out and fold into a dice. Really great people. Umbral Oculus Dice, our very own Taryn, who's ran Far Realms on the channel. Dune is a custom resin dice maker. Please check out their stuff. As well as Arclight Court, which is it's our very own Will, who you'll see running Power Rangers on the channel very soon. Check out Arclight Court. That's his channel, his brand, and they do some really cool clothing over there. Yeah, that's us. That's what we're up to. Thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Hopefully no one dies. Well, who knows? Death in space.
We have zombies now.
Well, are they? Who knows?
Cannibals?
No.
Don't be cannibals.
Roast beef in
Definitely
space.
cannibals.
Hey, you've got tins of food. Who knows what's in it? But yes, we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Peace.
Bye.